Hello, it's 11, just about 11 o'clock, 11 p.m., February 12th, 2026. Just wanted to pop in, um, a little bedtime chat, updates about Nancy Guthrie. So, TMZ got another, TMZ got a, sorry for the lighting, but I don't have my other light with me. TMZ got another note about this one person who is saying they know the kidnapper. They just want one Bitcoin so they can get out of town, so they don't either get uh, picked up and the crime pinned on them, or somebody come after them, or whatever BS they're talking about. He should just go and get the 100K, because that's the other update. The FBI bumped up the reward to 100K. And the Bitcoin is only 68,000, and that could drop dramatically. So he's screwing himself, or she's screwing himself, if they are trying to collect a Bitcoin that is unstable. But what they're saying is it would be detrimental if they don't send the Bitcoin so they can tell them who the kidnapper is. So, and it's the last time they're gonna ask for ask for it. It's their last chance. It's like, you know BS. Um, I mean, it's so obvious it's BS, but there's always that little tiny nudge in your gut saying, "What if it isn't BS?" So it is. It's nerve wracking. But I was just on Nerdy Addicts channel. They do, him and Eva do trivia night, Thursday trivia night, and so I caught the part of it. Cassie, you're gonna knock this over. Cassie, it's my dog. She's getting ready for bed. She's making her bed in the bed that she shares with me. There you go. But yeah, it was fun. I got there late, so I missed out. I would have won, though. I know I would have. Because I'm old and I know a lot of things, you know. Uh, I know a little bit about a lot, I guess you can say, something like that. But anyway, so that update, the 100K, the other update is the sheriff is withholding evidence from the FBI. Now that came out of routers, and Brian Enton reported on that, but I think the FBI is speaking on that. So who knows? Who knows? Because somebody else said it's not true. And then also the footage that they're asking for, footage from certain areas between January 1st and February 1st, all the way also January 11th from some other area or whatever. Um, that the ski mask or balaclava that was found in the alleyway is not true, or a hoax. So, mixed messages. Um, what else? The neighbors are getting annoyed. I don't blame them, because people are leaving trash. Don't leave trash behind. If you're going to, be annoying, you're already annoying because you're blocking up their whole road there. They're nervous about emergency vehicles being able to get through. Don't leave trash. And don't be using the restroom out in their, like, little wilderness area there. I mean, you could be, but those jumping cactus might get at you, so that would be well deserved if you're doing that. Don't be sending food to the home of Nancy. That was a subscriber who did that, though, for the person that they followed. But act right. If you're going to be on the ground there, feet on the ground, boots on the ground, behave yourself. Don't act like idiots. And again, I give them kudos, because they are, like, we are getting, like, whatever information they can get from the ground there, but a lot of stuff is being made up, or it's like the game of telephone. Somebody hears something, tells one person, they twist it up, and then something else. I mean, I see it in the chat. Like, for the shows that the YouTube creators that I follow, I could see it in the chat. Like, it's all mixed up. I'm like, what are they listening to? Like, you would hear something come out right out of, an official's mouth, a fact out of their mouth, and then you're in a chat and somebody's saying something completely different, and it's like, what? Where are you getting your information, or are you not hearing what's being said? So it's crazy. Everybody's getting burnt out on it. It's too much. It's sad. Um, the longer this goes on, the more of a chance is that she's no longer with us, and um, they may never find out what happened to her. But the FBI is on it. They're using some software or tech that may be able to decipher a little bit more about this person. I can't believe, like, who was it? Oh, the Tepe case. That case was bonkers too. It's bonkers. 10 years that this guy held on to it. I mean, oof. Um, but they actually followed, you know, like there was surveillance all throughout Columbus and the streets that he took, even the back roads. So they were able to follow him from Columbus, Ohio, all the way back to Rockland or Rockville, Illinois, right outside of Chicago. And they did it. They followed him, and then they not only did they do that, they found out that he was surveilling. They have footage of him at their house when they were away at a game. And I'm sure he was surveilling them for a long time. That is an insane, insane, insane case. And even information about that case that came out, and everybody saying, yeah, she got shot once, he got shot 2 times or 3 times. And I saw somewhere buried in a report that both of them were shot several times. Well, it turns out it was true. They were thinking 2 and 1 because of the 3 shell casings. No, he emptied out a clip on them. 16 rounds. 9 for Monique and 7 for her husband. And insane. And for Monique, it was mostly in her face. I can't, I just, and that 4-year-old heard stuff, even though there was a silencer on there on the weapon. You can hear that percussion. So that little girl probably heard stuff. 16 rounds. She probably heard them yell out. She probably heard stuff. At 4, she won't forget that. I have a head injury up here that I got when I was 2.5 years old. I don't remember how it happened, but I remember the ER. And I was in the trauma. I remember that as if it was yesterday. 2.5. 4 years old. She will remember things from that night. I'm sure of it. I'm sure that there was a commotion. Those houses were built because they're newer homes. They're very well insulated, so you can't really hear your neighbors. I'm sure this poor little girl heard stuff. And at 4, you have a pretty good sense of what's going on. Of course, when we're older, we forget that we don't, certain things. I remember things from 4 and 5 years old. So that poor little girl. And yeah, it's just Spencer. I couldn't remember his name. Monique and Spencer Tepe. That was horrific. So I don't know. I just got off on a tangent. So yeah, so 100,000 reward, sheriff withholding evidence from the FBI, key evidence, not like just key evidence. Um, Savannah put out some old videos and pictures of her mother when they were little kids. Um, the stuff that they were doing at the house. I think they were recreating to get a sense of the height and build of the person. Definitely a male. I'm trying to think. I can't think of anything else uh, that update, but yeah, it's a shame. It's a shame. I wanted to talk just real briefly about this crime timeline.com, and volunteers put it together. It is such an intensive website for these cases. Case files for missing and endangered. Brandon Banfield, who just was convicted, found guilty of killing his wife and the whole setup with that poor other guy. Mangione, pretrial. Sarah Grace Patrick, who's being accused of killing her mother and stepfather. There's a lot of shady stuff going on with that. This little girl who is being body shamed by Jennifer Coffin Doofus. Horrible. These women are horrible. But there's some stuff that happened that would indicate that somebody else might have come into the house and did this. At 17 years old or 16 years old, uh, you're you sleep like a rock. I was that age, and the house across the street, me and my cousin, who was same age, the house across the street blew up. The boiler blew up and knocked people out of their beds. We didn't budge. We did not hear a thing. An explosion that rocked a building. We didn't hear a thing. So when they're saying, how could she not hear, blah, 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 BS. Something's going on with that case. Corey Richards or Richins, her case is coming up. Mickey Steins, the sheriff who shot the judge. Kelsey Fitzsimmons. I think with Kelsey, I think the judge was recused. So Fitzsimmons is a North Andover, Massachusetts police officer who gave birth in early 2025 and was later diagnosed with postpartum depression, which is common. Um, in March 2025, she was involuntarily hospitalized for mental health treatment. She might have been having psychoses too. She returned to work afterward, but her relationship and family situation deteriorated, leading to family court filings and the incident that brought national attention to a case. So she was shot in the chest. If you don't know about this case, you need to look it up by a fellow, her partner, because they took the baby away from her. And she said, let me just go get some stuff. And she was going to, she pulled a gun on her own self, but he shot her in the chest, but she survived, which is a miracle on its own. Anyway, this judge was horrific to her. And this happened. Are they going back to, oh, her early life? This is a really intensive website. I just want to go back to see. She just had a hearing. I don't know who manages this website, but it's like incredible. I mean, I can't vouch for the accuracy, but I would think that it would be accuracy. Shots heard. Um, let's see if I can look it up. Uh, See, I thought that she was recused. Kelsey Fitzsimmons' attorney accuses judge of impropriety in motion for recusal. Yeah, it says judge accused of bias will not oversee remainder of Kelsey Fitzsimmons' case. So she was recused. Motion to recuse denied as moot because of judge schedule. They can throw their own recusal request out, which is ridiculous. But they appealed it. So ultimately, the motion was denied. Oh, the court has gone far out of its lane in an effort to keep Ms. Fitzsimmons from her infant. Yeah, she's trying to at least get visitation. Um, Bradel also, that's her attorney is Bradel, Tim Bradel. Bradel also accused the judge of exhibiting a prejudiced demeanor during the September hearing. Yeah, it was awful. Ultimately, the motion was denied as moot by the court, which said the judge is scheduled to sit in another case and was not specially spatially assigned to this matter as the motion inaccurately assumes. I don't know what that means. That she's not going to preside over it, so she doesn't need to be recused? That's BS. The strange thing about Massachusetts courts is that they, like, when they do these hearings, it's multiple different judges hearing. So it's almost like every time you go to a hearing, that they have to learn about the case. I mean, it's crazy. It's just crazy, like that. And then you get the worst judge possible, and you get stuck with that judge. I'm trying to find out if it was judge recused. I thought she was recused. Something must have happened because they're still talking about it. I thought they appealed her refusal to recuse herself, and then the upper court said, "No, you're recused, judge." What is going on? I don't even know. I'd have to maybe. Melanie Little covers that. There's a few creators. Attorney Melanie Little um, covers that case. So it says motion to recuse judge in Kelsey Fitzsimmons case denied, deemed mute. Moot. Okay, so the Chief Justice of the State Superior Courts denied a motion filed by lawyers for North Andover police officer Kelsey Fitzsimmons seeking the recusal of Judge Kathleen McCarthy Naiman, deeming it moot. Yeah, she was horrible. They have, like, she looked mentally ill, this judge, just like what's her face, Beverly, Auntie Bev, like mentally ill. And these people are not elected; they're assigned or appointed. So that's even worse because it's like, is it a lifetime appointee? I think so. In a brief endorsement on the motion, Justice Michael D. Ricciuti, I should know this, the pronunciation. Yeah, let's do that really quick. But um, I don't get it. I thought she was recused. PronounceNames.com. I like my PronounceNames.com. Richuti. And they probably pronounce it totally different in Massachusetts because they just do, just like in Brooklyn. He wrote that the judge is scheduled to sit in another session during the period of the remaining pretrial and trial of this case and was not spatially, I think that's how it says, assigned to this matter, as the motion inaccurately assumes. But here's the thing, like I said, they switch these judges around. You know, you're sitting in one on one hearing, pretrial hearing, and then you go to another pretrial hearing. And so the person who's the defendant, they're getting different judges at all these pretrial hearings. It's like the luck of the draw or the unluck of the draw. So I think they wanted her recused. So if she picks this up in any other pretrial hearings, she can't attend it. So he deemed it moot. In a brief endorsement on the motion, Justice Michael wrote, "The judge is scheduled." Okay. The judge is scheduled. Okay, so inaccurate. Oh, shoot, I just said that. This outcome directly addresses the core concern raised in the defense's motion, namely the necessity of preserving the fairness, impartiality, and appearance of justice throughout the remainder of the proceedings, they said in a statement Tuesday afternoon. The motion had asked McCarthy Naiman to recuse herself from sitting on the case over several perceived conflicts of interest and accusations of misconduct. She did. There was conflicts and misconduct abound. A reasonable disinterested observer would conclude that there is a lack of impartiality, or at a bare minimum, an appearance that the judge's impartiality might reasonably be questioned. The motion filed by Bradel and attorney Martha Coakley reads. Fitzsimmons and North, so she was shot in June by her colleague. McCarthy Naiman presided over many Superior Court hearings in the case, beginning with a bail review. Yeah, she just really was, it was horrible. So, a hearing on the recusal was set for March 9th, just 2 weeks before her case was set to go to trial. Man, I'm telling you, what's going to happen is this judge is going to end up being on her case. That's what they're trying to avoid. This was from Mass Live. Oh, I'm surprised I got on there. Usually you have to subscribe. I don't know how that happened. Yeah, that's so weird. That is so weird. I thought it was a done deal. Anyway, who knows? Massachusetts really has a really bizarre court system, and it's totally not in the best interest of these defendants. I mean, it's really not. It's very prosecutorial heavy. Um, and even in the one court, like in Karen Reed's court, the prosecution's table is literally attached to the judge's bench. Like, that's bizarre to me. It's very bizarre. The whole system is very bizarre. But yeah, I just let me look and see what I'm gonna run out of my battery's gonna go on this. My other laptop. Let me just look up attorney Melanie Little and what she says, because she's been following this and she gets really fired up. She's from New York too. She's from Long Island. Let's see. She's been covering Georgia versus Faust trial. It's a cold case, and so how old is it? Is it a 20-year-old case? 2001. Ooh, 25-year-old case, cold case, and of course DNA. You know, and so he's fighting it. uh, rape and murder case of a. Oops. I didn't mean to click on it. Let's see if she has anything for Kelsey Patrick. There's Aiden Carney. She follows that. Okay. It's a little sensitive. I'm trying not to. She's not covering it. So Aaron Spencer, that judge was removed. That was a big conflict. I'm not seeing Kelsey. Oh, there it is, way back here, 4 weeks ago. That's weird. She usually covers. Let's see, unless she's leaving it to other creators to cover it, because she's really focused on this. It was a UGA law student that he murdered. Catching up with Kelsey Enrique. Oh, okay, so she did do it, but she's got a bunch of other updates on it. So, all right, I'll have to look into it because I thought that was already resolved. But anyway, oh, look, I'm on for 26 minutes. So I was just going to pop on for a minute. But yeah, if anybody's listening or in the replay, check out that crime line, crimetimeline.com, if you're interested in any of the cases that are going on. I'm telling you, case files, cold cases, missing persons, disaster resources. It's really intensive. Um, yeah, that's it. I mean, I'm gonna probably watch a few more videos tonight and then go to bed. This is how I spend my day. I mean, I had other things I had to do, and it's going to be a jam-packed weekend for me. So I probably won't spend as much time. I'll just spend a lot of time listening. I might not be able to pop in. I might do a short though. Anyway, for those who popped in and popped out, thanks. Um, for those who pop in for a replay, hello and thank you. Anyway, have a good night. Maybe I'll see you tomorrow or this weekend. Good night.